of August, and we log on for another episode of Voices. We're going to go downtown at this point and give credit to our sponsors for making this program possible. And when we return, we send out salutations and all that and get into the gist of the program today. We have a special guest with us this morning. So see you on the other side of the advertisements.
When the star them there, we are top man, we take charge. Magnum we drink and we are shell down bars. Blast like a star with some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man them. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Once again, good morning and welcome to another episode of Voices, saying to all of the Federation and Father Field, it's a beautiful Wednesday in the Federation. Hope you're having a nice one. We want to send out condolences to the families who are going through a period of grieving and mourning. For those who are celebrating, we are with you always, also. There is a season for everything, and of course, we take the good, the bad, we come to blessings first, is the way I would wish that we can start our day. For those fathers feel like Catherine up there in Toronto, Jennifer over there in Atlanta, Rosemary up there in New York, also saying good morning to Bag Sugar. You know who you are. Bridges, Heiliger, Mr. Just forgot his name there. Haven't seen him more mentioned. I'll get back to that. Anyway, we have with us this morning in the studio Mr. Raskalunji. We are in the second to the last day of August, a month wherein we observe our emancipation celebration. We are about a day before we step into September when we observe our independence celebration. This year we're celebrating our 40th independence anniversary. But before we step into that, we want to go into elements of the emancipation celebration that was observed by many of the islands, countries throughout the region, because it was in this month, in 1834, we were told that emancipation was declared throughout the British colonies. France did it later, America did it later, in terms of the emancipation proclamations. We here in the region celebrated on August 1st. So we are at August 30th. Before we close off the month, we're going to have a little recap of such discussions. And we have with us again, as I mentioned, Raskalunji. Okay, so Mr. No Stranger to the Airways, mic is yours.
Blessed love, Brother Socrates. You know, I just like to greet everyone here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Amigo and Oli, you know, with Pan-African greetings. Greetings of, you know, one love. And what Granny say? Granny say, stop the killing. We have a nation to build. What Granny say? Love one another. What Granny say? Respect one another. What Granny say? Buy local. What Granny say? Support your own. What Granny say? Reparation by any means necessary. What Granny say? What Granny say? Unity by any means necessary. What Granny say? Self-esteem. What Granny say? Self-reliance. What Granny say? Self-respect. Granny also say, Africans unite. What Granny say? African unity. What Granny say? One African people. What Granny say? One African parliament. What Granny say? One African economy. What Granny say? One African passport. What Granny say? One African currency and reparation by any means necessary. As I do that, brother Socrates, I just like to say, give out enough love to all the people. I was over there in Nevis for Culturama, you know. That's where my family is from, so.
Okay.
You know, my family is from Nevis, and, you know, all the wonderful people that I met in Nevis. Just like to say, you know, one love, give thanks, and the struggle continues. And all the wonderful comments that people have given me when I meet them on the streets, whether he's here in St. Kitts or in Nevis. So I'd just like to say the struggle continues, and African liberation is certain. Now, a lot of people like to talk about democracy, especially the political directorate, right? Now, my position is that we have to redefine what is democracy, because we see what is taking place throughout the world in this geopolitical situation that is taking place. There's a shift that is taking place in the world. The empire, the American imperialists, is on the decline with its NATO allies. And we are saying that this is the time for African people to consolidate our position in the world to be self-determining. We see what happened in South Africa there with BRICS. There's a new economic and trade alignment that is taking place in the world. The main proponents of BRICS is Russia, China, South Africa, India, and Brazil. Now I think 6 new members have been added. I don't know them off the top of my head, but we see what is happening.
How many African countries?
For the new
For the BRICS construct.
well, South Africa is one of the main players in that, and I think you have Egypt now and Ethiopia.
Okay.
So what I'm saying now, tie that all in now to emancipation, is that this is the 189th anniversary of emancipation, and it's very important. And I want to say again, the political directorate here in the Federation did not really acknowledge the 189th anniversary of emancipation.
I know.
And this is also the 400th anniversary of St. Kitts being colonized by the terrorist
Warner.
This is the 400th anniversary, 1623 to 2023. This is also the 200th anniversary of the Monroe Doctrine, the 189th anniversary of emancipation, 204th anniversary since the Portuguese uprising. This is also the 88th anniversary of the Buckley's uprising, 71 years since adult suffrage, 219 years we acknowledge of the Haitian Revolution, 397 years since the genocide of the native people of this country, and 141 years since Crown Colony government in 1882. So we just want to put that out there. But like I said, Brother Socrates, you know, we're in very difficult times. And what is happening not only here in the Federation, but throughout the whole African diaspora and throughout the whole globe, like I said, there is a realignment taking place. We see what is happening in terms of the war in Ukraine. You know, a lot of people like to think that Russia initiated this war, but I'm telling our people that this war started back in 2014 when Victoria Nuland and the imperialist forces overthrew the government in Ukraine and installed what you have today. So, any other questions, Brother Socrates, that you'd like to pose? We just want to...
Well, first, you're speaking to a global audience, and you're trying to bring awareness to the average man in the street. Okay? So while you were going through all those stats, I'm trying to figure how does this relate to the average man in the street, or how the average man in the street even is cognizant of this, or if he thinks that this impacts him in any way, shape, or form. We see people going about their way, all, blissful about what's happening. The immediate focus is on their daily existence. They have access to various platforms of news, but it doesn't seem to immediately impact them. So when you're saying that this is a time for Africans, this is a time for, some are saying, well, I've heard that song before, or they tune you out. And that is our reality. So whereas you're saying with all these global events coming together, where the conscious African would be encouraged to take advantage, how many people on the ground are in the sound of our voices, because we have a very wide platform, are even paying attention? But still, the messenger have to keep with the messaging. So it's not so much I have a question for you per se, but how many of the people are really interesting? We have other messengers. There's Journey, of course. He's on the various program daily, preaching the gospel of our people, our awakening that should be happening, and all what's happening in Africa, trying to bring us into that. There are those who say, well, we should focus on what's happening at home first, and don't think that that over there should be a priority. So if we were in the room together, having a debate on all the current issues happening on the continent and the chronicle of events that you read out in terms of the history of a people, all the various things that brings us up to now, present time. You did mention that the 189th year of emancipation was not observed by, I would say, the governments. Now, Trinidad had celebrations, Barbados, Antigua. We kept ours on August Monday, as opposed to August the 1st, the actual anniversary. And so, in growing up, we heard about August Monday, and didn't make a connection to Emancipation Day. And so it saddened me that as you hear in St. Kitts, we are still celebrating August Monday. 1834, August 1st was a Monday, so we understand the correlation. But then if you want to celebrate the anniversary, it should be on the day of emancipation. That is my 10 cents worth.
Well, I agree with all what you said. And we are hoping for next year's celebration, that August Monday, we're sending this out to the political directorate, that August Monday should be a national holiday, because that is when the Emancipation Proclamation was read.
It's normally a holiday.
But it's not acknowledged in the Federation.
As a, yes, we call it, it's really supposed to be August the 1st, but we celebrate August Monday, because it was the first Monday in August 1834.
But what I'm saying, on the 1st of August this year, it was not acknowledged.
That is correct.
That's the point I'm making.
That is correct.
Okay, so what we are saying that in the coming years, we want that particularly to be a national holiday, because that is when the Emancipation Proclamation was read.
Will it fall on a Sunday or Saturday?
Well, the Monday will be the acknowledgement. Just like any other holiday, when it comes, right? So what I'm saying, if it falls like on the weekend, like a Saturday Sunday, then the Monday will be the holiday. But we just want that to be acknowledged. We want information to be in throughout the Federation that this particular day we acknowledge as Emancipation.
I'll go for Emancipation Day on the date that it's due.
I agree. I don't have a problem with that.
And call it Emancipation Day, not celebrate August Monday, because that actually confused our people for many, many years.
And it was done by our oppressors.
Correct.
To confuse us.
So we continue the August Monday.
Yeah.
Designate Emancipation Day on the actual date, 1st of August.
I agree. So what I'm saying, we're talking about our people just, dealing in terms of the day-to-day survival.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what does all this information have to do with them, or how it impacts them? Now, the last program that we did, right, the brother and sister was here from
Belize?
Bonilla.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Bonilla. And Bonilla is in our area, in our vicinity.
But we are unaware.
Exactly. Okay, now look what is taking place. The situation that is taking place right now in the world is global, especially the economic situation, because inflation is global.
Granted.
Good. So now what is inflation? Inflation is just a general increase of goods and services, right? Now, people in the country is saying, how hard things is, which is really hard. It's very difficult. And I'm telling you, it's going to get more difficult. But our response to that, our people saying, well, it's the government's fault. I don't agree with that. This inflation is external. We don't have any control of it because most of the things that we import comes from overseas. And the general increase
But if we imported to come from overseas.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that just like COVID, our people was not responsible for COVID, but we had to go through all the measures that was imposed on us for COVID. So I'm saying to you, just like inflation, right? That the employees, right, are raising their prices, the different enterprises
Employees.
merchants. The merchants, yeah. The employer then, sorry. The employer is raising their goods in the different enterprises here in the Federation, right?
And the linkage is to the increased cost of shipping, scarcity in global markets.
But that's what they are saying. But what I'm saying, the only thing you could contribute to that in terms of shipping is the cost of fuel. There's no doubt about it. There's an increase because of the war that is taking place in Ukraine and the sanctions that was put on Russia by the United States, where they seized over, I think it's $500 billion of Russian assets, right? So what I'm saying to you is that a lot of the goods that are increasing in the stores, the initial cost for producing it has not increased. So what I'm saying is that the ruling class in the world is using that as an excuse in order to make more profit based on what they lost in the period of COVID.
Okay. We have a contributor who mentioned the data that you rattled off. So at some point before the program is over, if you can repeat them, he may want to record the dates on the various incidents.
Okay, no problem.
Right? Okay, fair
but
enough.
as I continue, right, what I'm saying is that we have to look at this thing very seriously because the inflation, I say, is global. I have friends in New York telling me every time they go to the store, things are increasing. So what I'm saying to you now, in our response to this escalation in prices and inflation, we see that the Federal Reserve in the United States has raised interest rates, right? Now, when you raise interest rates, right, your mortgage, your credit card, you have to pay more in order now to service your credit card and your mortgages. Now, the also increase, the inflation also affects because the Federal Reserve and the authorities in the United States, they bring on inflation in terms to lessen or put a stop to increases in wages. Now, I don't know. The government here is saying that they want to have an increase in the minimum wage. Right? Now, if there is an imbalance in terms of how much the working class make, in terms of what he have to spend when he go to purchase goods that he need for daily sustenance, right? That if there is an imbalance where what that the worker is making is not sufficient to purchase the thing that he needs, it creates a contradiction where if he can't buy certain goods in the stores, right, the contradiction are going to occur where some kind of conflict going to occur because he cannot meet, you understand, his daily sustenance in terms of when he he can't purchase certain things in the store. So I'm all for increase in the minimum wage because the forces that be, they don't want to raise the minimum wage, but they want to increase the in the different enterprises. So we are saying,
talking to different. You're talking about the government's intention, or they said they would like to raise the minimum wage.
Exactly.
Right. Those private companies who may not want to raise the salary of the employees. The government want to raise the minimum wage. I understand that. They don't really control the private sector. And the school of thought is that when the private sector is forced to raise the minimum wages, right, they can initiate a go slow or cut or minimize the working days of the workers in order not to pay that increase. Then the merchant class now, whom the government seem to have no control over in terms of the price control, they jack up the prices in anticipating of the increase in wages. So whereas the worker see an increase in his salary, his buying power, his purchasing power is not increased. As a matter of fact, the merchants in anticipated that, okay, when we have VAT day, they anticipate the VAT day is going to be next week, Tuesday. A week prior, they increase their pricings. And then on VAT day, they kind of take it down to half. So you think you're getting a bargain. They're manipulating the whole thing. So when it comes to wage increases, the government has to be more proactive in their price control on these merchants, the outlets, because that's what they do. They anticipate the increase in wages, jack up the prices, so you, the employee, still have no purchasing power.
I heard you clearly, my brother. So what I'm saying to you now is that you say that the government has no control over the private sector. I don't agree with that because the government could institute price control.
They ought to.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to show you now is that this is nothing new. I think back in 1970...
But that's price control. We're talking about salary increases.
Yeah, but what I'm saying...
The government can demand that the private sector increase.
But why the private sector should increase their prices in the store?
I am with you.
You see? So that's what I'm saying. That is the contradiction that we are faced with. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying to you is that if the merchants could raise their prices, why they can't before a general increase in the minimum wage?
The bottom line is...
you see? So what I'm trying to show you now, I'm glad you raised that. That's to show you that basically the merchants, mm-hmm. right, are enforcing, they're all about is to make a profit. But the working class is the one who have to pay for that. So what I'm trying to show you now, what I'm trying to show you.
Let me provoke this thought because we do have to go to a break. But let me tell you this, right? The merchants increasing their profits share some of that in the form of campaign funds during the election cycle. And so the man in the street is jumping up for his party, waving, he's still getting shafted.
I agree.
He's the worker, he's the voter, but the merchants who increase the pricing on him, they donate to the various parties electoral campaign funds. So
I'm glad you made that point, but what I'm trying to show you also is that it show you that the working class. See, you Matthew Sebastian, the farmer.
Of course.
Here's what he's saying. The laboring mass is the upkeep of the community, and consequently the class on which our prosperity and progress depends. Therefore, in catering to this class, we are promoting our own, generally speaking, chances of development. Because what I'm saying, if the working class don't buy nothing, they can't make any money.
it's true. Okay, we have to go downtown, right? But I had a thought now with you. This is good on paper. It sounds good, right? In practice, it's very applicable, but we don't follow through. So we go downtown to give Caesar his due, and we'll be right back.
Yes.
Jean.
Oh, this beer's hot, boy. I can't take it.
Well, it's a good thing I
But,
called.
you know,
The TDC Home and Building Depots are having their Cool 'em Down sale, and you're sure to get 25% discount on fans, AC units, coolers, fridges, and more to beat this heat.
Girl, Betty, you're making joke.
No, girl. Stop sweating and let's go to the store now.
Come pick me up, because may want to miss the sale at TDC Home and Building Depot.
Cool. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. We want your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Are you ready for the summer? Need a plan like no other. Stay connected when you're on the go.
Sign up for internet and get 1 month free, plus a chance to pay $0 for the rest of the year. Plus, get a chance to win free data, gas vouchers, $500 cash weekly, grocery vouchers, Fed tickets, and more.
Switch over to Flow.
Yabba-dabba-doo. We're back with Ras Kalunji in the studios of Win FM, and we're discussing what's going on downtown. Basically, we're supposed to be discussing the emancipation issue because we are still in August, the month when most of the regions celebrated their emancipation anniversary. And we're going to touch on that, but we're just getting into the weeds as to how things work out downtown. The emancipated mind would agitate for better working conditions, etc., etc. But then the powers that be, they're still beholden to the merchant class, who donate significantly to their electoral campaign funds. So when they want to flex muscles, they will tell you, fellow member, I support you last election. So if you don't toe the line next election cycle, right? On paper, it's perfect. But in practice, it's flawed. On paper, it's perfect. If we were to do what we read about and espouse on paper, it would be great. The society would be just perfect. But we deal with mankind, and his insularities. So therein lies the problem.
But when I come to these microphones, like I always say, we have a program here.
Yeah.
the African Consciousness Movement, we have a program.
That's it.
Umoja, unity. To strive and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Umoja means staying together. Kujichagaleo, self-determination, every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, Umoja is Monday, Kujichagaleo is Tuesday, self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves, instead of being defined, named, created for, and spoken for by others. Kujichagaleo is saying who we are and who we will be, and not letting others say for us. Today is Wednesday, Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and to solve our problems together. Ujima means working together and helping each other. Ujama, which is Thursday, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses and to profit from them together. Ujama means buying from each other. Friday, near purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Near means making our people as great as they can be. Kuumba, which is Saturday, creativity, to do always as much as we can, in the way we can, in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. Kuumba means thinking of ways to make our community better. Imani, faith, which is Sunday, to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Imani means believing in ourselves and the worth of our people. Now, I state that, Brother Socrates, to show you, this is new ideas that we are bringing to our people in order how we should structure and live our lives. Now,
it sounds, no disrespect, it sounds utopian to me.
Okay.
Where are these being practiced? Is it a religion?
No, it's not a religion.
You say that it sounds utopian.
No,
Which society? Where is this being practiced?
What I'm saying, that's what we want to create. That's what we want to develop. So we are putting these ideas forward to our people. For instance, we were dealing with inflation and the minimum wage increase. No, if I'm not talking about the working class in particular, but our people in general. What we are saying, if we unite and organize ourselves, we want to unite on that basis. Where we're talking about the United Lyamigan Cooperative. We institute these ideas. And we are saying to our people, once we have unity, don't say anything as yet. Unity amongst our people. Because we want to bring our people together. We are not against our people. Not only here in St. Kitts and Nevis, throughout the region, and throughout the diaspora. So we are saying we are putting these ideas out there to bring our people together to defend what is in our interests.
Where is the appetite for this?
The appetite will.
Where's the appetite? Where's it demonstrated yearning for this? It sounds, as I say, it sounds good on paper. It's like philosophical.
Okay.
But the reality is, it sounds utopian. Where is the appetite?
When we put these ideas forward, people actually say it can't work. Well, why we have the concept of negativity when we suggest certain ideas? Because that is what is implanted by the colonialists. So what we are saying, we have to think in a new way.
It's human nature not to want to push the train. But once the train is moving, people will jump on. It's human nature.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the colonialists and what happened in the past.
No.
It's just human nature.
No, I don't agree with that point, brother. Because that's what they implanted in us. So we internalize it.
There is human nature.
No, I don't agree. I disagree with that one, right?
Okay.
Because what I'm trying to show you, a lot of things that happen to us, we say is human nature. No, let me show you a basic example. If you ask the average Kittitian or Nivijan in this country, you tell them that
we got a call. We got to open the lines. Well, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Hope you're there. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, the King. Good morning, Kalunji.
Okay,
Good morning to you, brother.
Yeah, now let us look at the word unity. When we use the word unity, we don't use the word unity as a synonym because change is unstoppable. Let me repeat this. We don't use the word unity as a synonym. Now, we know what is going on the continent. Now, who is against unity? Unity is what, they divided us, and that has worked for them. Now, so the Christian community, and permit me to say this quickly, the Christian community are there waiting for their name to be written in a book. Now, our words are vibrating, Kalonji, myself, and the others. Now, those who are waiting for their name to be written in a book, as we were taught, on the last day, if your name are not in this book. Well, let me say this. The universe is recording everything that we are saying because the Most High does not need a book to record. I mean, when we ascribe certain attributes to the concept of God, omnipresent, omnipotent, and this is a God that has to come down. Like guys, really, let us make common sense. A God that has to come down to see, a God that has to come down and call. Yet we ascribe all these names
Attributes.
to attributes to this God. God have to write them in a book. God have to put a rainbow in the sky to remind him that he don't have to destroy the world by a flood again. No, that's all like the creator of the universe. So I'm saying our words are vibrating. I know the Christian community have swallowed everything in this book wholesale. That's why I said just recently, guys, I said in my infancy, I was taught and I believe. I am an adult now, I'm a grown man. So I ask questions and I know. Knowing, knowledge. You see, the Christian community is intelligent. They are intelligent beings. They're intelligent people. But knowledge is superior to intelligence. I am not intelligent. I serve tables. Knowledge is infinite. And how do you get this infinite of knowledge? By knowing who you are, knowledge of self. I said earlier that the book is our culture. Now let me get back to what is happening and what Kalonji is gearing to. Our unity will cripple the misery. Now you're asking him some question, the king. You see, we have to make our thing attractive because the distraction is there. We have a common enemy. What we refer to as the devil and God. Our common enemy is in the flesh. And the distraction, in as much as you can have the information at our fingertips, the distraction is because the enemy is not going to relent. They're not going to hand over things to us. We have to know who we were before we were interrupted and disrupted. And that is what they were afraid of. Look at how they demonize everything that is of us. Voodoo. They call it witchcraft. But what they took in their pharmaceutical lab, what craft is it? What craft they use to keep us coming back by not curing? Our voodoo was our power, but they demonize it. Are you following me, guys?
Got you.
I mean, we got to be real. The power that they say is in the name of their Jesus. Well, power is in our words. And that is why I'm saying our words vibrates to the universe. The universe is alive. We emerge from life. Life gives life. Life is alive. I'm going to finish now. I know this is deep and a lot of people are not ready for this. But everything that we have in the book, in the creation of, in the beginning, this and spit on the ground and made man and all that, that is rubbish. And the Christian community is not ready for it because they have swallowed everything by believing without facts. Thank you for hearing me, guys.
Okay, Zang, thanks for your contribution. Oftentimes, this sounds like just theology. We're discussing theology and this and that, and I have an issue with now it's good to repeat things, especially if it's important and we want to reach people. But I'm not getting the energy. Now, you're reading stuff that sounds like platitudes, and I appreciate that. But I want to discuss emancipation, its rise form, what it means to us, etc., etc. So all the things you're reading and so on, I'm asking, where's the audience for this? Who's listening? Where's the appetite? I understand what you're saying, but are you connecting?
Yes.
That is the question.
I hear your question. No, let us go to Africa. I was making a point before. Mm-hmm. If you ask the average Kitchen and division, we're using those terms just to, let our people know what we're dealing with. Tell them that they're Africans, they will say no. But no, where they get that idea from, that they are not Africans. It was implanted into us.
We go back to the phone and start to interrupt you. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. I would have missed caller. Please try again. Okay, good morning, caller. You're up next. You're live on Voices.
Hey, good morning, Socrates. How are you doing?
Sister Henry, I'm blessed. Yourself?
Oh, man, my God is so good. My God is so great. Well, I sure God having a big laugh.
He get a joke? Did he get a joke?
He get a joke. He get a joke. Because it says in Psalm 2, the enemies of God. That's what they be,
So,
now, you're calling for unity while you are vehemently criticizing the people you want to unite. You're not going to happen. You must be, that when in the book of Acts, it said that the people had everything in common.
The people
Who are gathered here, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They shared whatever they had. It is in the book of Acts, in the book.
So you're talking about not one race, but people in general?
No. The followers of Jesus, after his resurrection, they gathered together in one place. He said they even sell the property and had everything in common and whatever.
What did it happen?
Hello?
What year this gathering took place?
It took the year after they crucified Jesus.
What?
Tell me when he resurrected.
Tell me the year.
So sort it out.
No.
Sort it out. Give the answer.
All I'm asking you,
Give me the answer.
if you could provide me with the year, I'll appreciate that.
All right. If you could provide me with the year when you think all these euphoria and things that you think can happen, it cannot happen with the attitude you all have towards Christian people.
No. I don't have no. Listen to me, Miss Henry. I don't have no attitude towards Christian people because let me say this.
And you amen what Johnny say.
Let me say this. We are the root of Christianity, Christianity comes from Africa, but I don't want to deal.
So why a while ago was it condemned like that?
Listen what I'm saying to you. I don't want to get into the realm of religion. I'm dealing.
The truth is, you are calling. Give me a break. You are calling for unity and all of that. How can two walk together unless to be agreed?
Hear what I'm saying. We're talking about African unity where we're raising a national consciousness. What I'm saying to you.
We're talking all about that, but how can Africans walk together unless they be agreed?
But I just outlined the 7 principles of Kwanzaa.
It don't make no sense if you watch. If you ostracizing people.
But the Christian community, could I ask you a question? The Christian community ostracize other people too? Because they're telling you, if you don't accept Jesus Christ, it's a problem.
Yeah, but they go about helping you to understand and to come into the belief.
But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our people. We're trying to get our people to understand who they are as Africans.
What does it mean to be African? Black skin?
Say that again.
What does it mean to be African? Just black skin?
No, you got to know who yourself and who is your friend and who is your enemy.
How do you define that?
You define that based on the history and oppression of our people.
That alone?
No, it's wider than that, but that's just a...
You see, the mistake you all are making mistakes and you don't even realize it.
But you are not making mistakes.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
But
well,
you
all of
make-
us make mistakes.
You are presenting this lovely plan. And you could start here in St. Kitts.
But that's where we're starting.
No,
We want to bring our people
You
together.
haven't started yet.
We already
It started.
started.
You. Christianity started with a handful.
Hear what I'm saying?
And
I
then
don't,
they
Miss
spread
Henry,
out.
Miss Henry,
So
listen
the
what,
same thing.
Miss
You
Henry,
and all who believe like you.
Miss Henry, listen
Get
what I'm
together and
saying.
demonstrate
I'm
it.
saying,
And
Try
people
and
will
control
see.
the cross talk because nobody's getting your points. You're
all I'm
talking
saying,
across each other.
Miss Henry, all I'm saying, we're an African people here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, but we are secession.
Okay, hear what I'm saying to you. We're trying to raise a national consciousness where our people could agree on certain things based on what has happened to us.
So what about religion?
But you could be, your religion could be anything, wherever your religion want to be, you could believe in anything
So
you want to
why
believe.
is the Christian religion pick and thing? Why not the Muslim?
Because
you already
Islam,
the Muslims
okay, I'm
took
glad
more
you raised that
Africans
point.
out of-
I'm glad
The
you raised that.
Muslims, give me a chance, man. You all skillful, you know. When you talk in unity, do you include the Muslims?
We include everybody. We don't care, but we
What-
don't care
what
what
do
your
they think about
religion
what you're
is.
saying?
Listen what I'm saying. Could you give me a chance? I heard you sometime this week accusing the Muslims of enslaving us, which they did. But I want to
thank you.
raise this. I want to raise this point to you. Do you support the state of Israel?
Do I support the state of Israel?
Yeah.
I support the state of St. Kitts and Nevis.
No. Oh, come on, Mr. But okay, Israel
You
is
ask
an
a question, you know.
Israel is an apartheid state.
My loyalty lies in St. Kitts
Good.
and Nevis. Get it straight.
My
neither Russia, neither America, nor China, nor Israel.
My loyalty.
It lies here in the Federation.
My loyalty lies with the unification of all African people.
But that is not going to happen, so you're wasting your time.
How you know
Find
it's not
another
going to
avenue.
happen?
You're wasting time.
How you know? You hear what you're saying? You hear? You hear your negative response to that?
Let me tell you again. I'll tell you why I said so. I notice among those who carry that concept that you have, that they're very antagonistic to religion. Any kind.
No, I'm not. No, Miss Henry, listen what I'm saying. You see, you talk. I'm not antagonistic to anybody religion.
Really?
Whatever your religion is, that's your business. All I'm saying to you is that our people have to unite based on what Malcolm said. We have a common enemy. We have a common oppressor, a common exploiter, and a common discriminator.
Define the common enemy. Because right now we are ourselves own enemy.
Well, how we come?
The enemy has expanded. You got all the superpowers are our enemy. Russia,
No, I
China,
don't agree. I don't agree.
America.
I do not agree. I
We
do
have
not
to
agree.
agree.
No,
Russia,
because listen what I'm
China,
saying.
America,
No, listen what I'm
India.
saying to you. Listen what I'm saying to you. You can't tell me Russia has never killed no African leader, nor China.
What you know about that?
How you mean? You tell me which one they kill.
Let's get it.
You would not
Get your
know.
point
Listen
and
to
How you
me.
mean you
answer.
would not
We
know?
have an argument. We
America
cross
and
talking.
Russia.
Miss
Come on,
Henry.
come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Miss Henry, how do I know that the United States government killed Patrice Lumumba?
How come you don't know look, who are those, what do call them, mercenaries in Africa? Aren't they Russian?
No. The Wagner group is not a mercenary group here.
What?
They're not a
What they
mercenary
be?
group.
They're mercenary from Russia.
Hear what I'm saying to you. There is no evidence that the Wagner group or Russia have supported anti-African development.
That's not true.
Wait, you tell me
They
why.
are the ones exploiting. They're exploiting African. And you know that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When was the ANC established?
When was it what?
The ANC, the African National Congress.
Sometime way back, I remember the date, but I know about it. I know about it.
1912.
Some people back think for their convenience.
No, Miss Henry, listen, man. Listen. Let me deal with the reality, right? When the United States government invaded Haiti.
Oh, you asked a question?
Yeah.
You mean 1915 when they...
Exactly. Was there any communist country in 1915?
Any communist country where?
On the planet?
You know about Lenin and thing?
I said, listen what I'm saying,
When
Miss Henry.
did
Don't,
Russia
Miss
become
Henry,
communist?
listen me
Answer
carefully.
me.
Miss Henry,
When did Russia become communist?
1917.
Thank you.
They invaded Haiti in 1915. That wasn't fighting no communists.
Look, how many
Look,
millions?
you
They
see,
kill
you
over
wanna
millions
skip
of their
and
own
dance
people.
now. I'm saying to you, I'm dealing with the reality.
Hey guys, give me a second, please. We're getting loud.
Anyway.
We're getting loud. The cross talk is not helping the body. We're having a debate, a discussion. You got to keep it civil. I don't need the shouting.
Right, all I'm telling him, you cannot expect to have unity if you're antagonistic to certain groups. It's not going to happen.
Which group?
My good friend Johnny just come on here. Oh, the Bible is and the Jesus. Well, immediately all white thinking Christian-minded people don't X yourself out of that.
But Miss Henry, let me deal with reality. The Bible was used to indoctrinate us.
It was also used to free us too.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't agree with that.
You don't know history?
I think you're going to disagree on that one.
Miss Henry,
Miss Henry,
what year was the King James Bible published?
1624?
1611.
Oh, wait, let me ask a question. Was the King James Bible written by King James and his people? Was it written or was it translated? What is the difference between written and translated?
It was written by a council that King James instituted, and one of the main writers of the Bible was Shakespeare himself. Look at Psalms 46.
Yeah,
right?
let me ask you a question again, Was the Bible translated? Because you say it was written. So was it ever translated? How does it correspond to the Jewish Bible?
That's what they said, translated, but they put in what they wanted.
All right.
But I'm saying
that is why we will never get together.
We'll never get together because when we deal with the facts in terms of Western Christianity, you don't want to accept it.
Yeah, but you want Russian domination.
No, I don't want Russian domination. I'm dealing with who is our friends. Russia has never demonstrated.
Nobody has a friend.
Yeah.
You're fooling yourself. All nations have interests.
Exactly.
They're not a friend.
Exactly, I agree with
I
that.
don't buy a Russian friendship.
But you don't buy a Russian friendship.
I do not buy a Russian friendship.
But you buy an American friendship?
No.
Everybody have the interest.
No.
But we have our own interests. Africans have their own interests.
I don't buy Melody talking about I am Russian, Russian, me and we love
No,
Russia.
I'm not
That's
saying that.
nonsense.
Listen what I'm saying to you, brother Socrates. The only nation that supplied the African liberation struggle with arms is China and Russia. Listen me carefully. Listen.
Where did Cuba? What was Cuba's role?
The Cuban role was in 1975 when
in Angola.
In Angola.
Yeah.
But Russia supplied the weapons. And what I'm saying,
was
Russia was against that.
It was a war of proxy.
America was
It was
back
proxy
in
war.
apartheid.
No, it was not a proxy war. Russia was against the Cuban forces going to Angola. This is reality. I could show you the Battle of Kuta Carnival.
Watch me. No matter what you say, Russia is like America. They have their own interests.
Everybody have their own interests. But what I'm saying to you.
Anyway, let me come out so somebody's going to come in. So it's not going to happen. As long as you all take your all thing and, the God this and the Jesus that, mark me out.
You hear that? So you don't want unity amongst our people here?
We got to have something in common.
We got
something in common. Oppression, discrimination.
We got to take a session break.
I beg you.
We got to take a session break.
You see, you have a negative attitude towards our unity.
We have a lot of folks up there.
With demonic influence.
What is demonic influence?
Anyway, gone.
Okay. We have a lot of folks up there who would learn a lot from the discussion, right? But we have to try to keep it as civil as possible. I understand that the passion and the need to respond, but keep it civil because people are listening and they're learning.
What I'm saying, Brother Socrates, we have to deal with reality. What I'm saying to you, you can't name no African leader that Russia or China have overthrown or killed. Look what is happening in Niger, right? Look at Haiti. They're talking about democracy. The United States government and France kidnapped President Aristide, who was democratically elected. Nobody could refute that. So I'm saying to you, we got to deal with the historical development. We can't deal with myths. The ANC was established in 1912, right? And even if you go back to Ethiopia in terms of the one before His Majesty with Menelik, right? 1896. They got the arms from Russia to defeat the Italians. because of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and the Russian Orthodox Church. There was a link from a religious aspect. But we don't know these things. So everything that the imperialists tell us, we go along with it.
I want to thank Ms. Henry for putting some fire in this debate this morning. I want to thank her for that.
But that's what she always does.
But she's good because she brings out a good argument, a good debate, and people are learning from the facts that came up to this discussion. You know, my thing is, as I asked you, where's the audience? Where's the appetite? But
the
she
audience
called
gonna come. Look here. You see the Queen Niger, right? The Nigerian people come out and support the core. You see what I'm saying? The event's gonna happen, brother. Wait, you're gonna see our people supporting a lot of things because the fire has, the match has done struck in Africa here. And it's gonna spread all over the world because this is the decade of African liberation. And we are not turning back. It's gonna spread global. And all we are saying to our people, brother Socrates, if you're not for African people's interests, you're against us. We could look at Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense for the United States. He will send arms to Africa to kill black people. So we got to know who's on our side.
Obama did also.
Exactly. So you're going to tell me that Putin is
So
that
it comes down to policy, the U.S. policy.
Yes, but what I'm saying to you is that a lot of people of our hue, black people in particular, are going to be against us because it's against their interests. So all I'm saying, brother Socrates, if you want to go to a break, brother Trent?
No, it's too late now.
It's too late?
You got 3 minutes.
Okay.
I was trying to signal that before.
Yeah,
so
but let me continue. What I'm saying, brother Socrates, I outlined the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. We are saying to our people, if you support those principles, right, we can't even talk about it. We have to live them. That's a guideline. We are sharing ideas. We are not against our people. We are saying it's time for our people to unite. Look at the politics here in St. Kitts. Now, you're going to tell me, right, that the reason why we have this division politically, right, is not of our making. You understand? Let me give you the gist of it. Universal suffrage, right, that was in 1952. Despite the various challenges, the new Conservative Secretary of State, James Griffith, informed Governor Blackburn that he had approved in principle certain constitutional changes that were to be put in place before the next general election. Universal suffrage was to be introduced subject to a person being able to sign his or her own name. The property qualification of $96 was to be retained. Now you hear that? Back in that day, in order for you to vote, you had to have property. We people ain't had no property.
We understand that.
Okay, good.
In the U.S., you had to know X amount of persons in society.
Exactly.
Be able to vote. The same thing.
So I'm just trying to show you. But that was applied to all of us everywhere, whether Africans here in the Caribbean
On the
or
US
in the
mainland.
diaspora.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm saying, let me continue. The proposal also attempted to widen representation in the legislative with the division of presidency into electoral districts. The Secretary of State was also prepared to concede an elected majority in the Legislative Council, but not in the executive. A committee system was to be introduced with the chair of the 3 committees to be held by the elected members, preempting the disappointment that was sure to surface when it became obvious that the ministerial system was not part of the new constitution. The Secretary of State explained that the committee system would create conditions which may well lead to the development of such a system in the presidency's concern. In particular, it will enable the chairman of the committees at meetings of the Executive and Legislative Council to state the needs and explain the work of the department with which they are concerned and to associate themselves with the work of the administration. Now hear this now.
We a minute to so wrap that up for me quickly, please.
By this
we actually at midday. We have to pause for the midday news.
Okay, let me finish this.
We got to pause for the newscast.
Okay,
We
no
got to pause for that. We're at 12 o'clock.
Oh, I was going by the clock.
No, not by that. By this. That's behind time. So check your time. It's actually 12 o'clock, and we apologize for that. So we now pause for the Winning Family's midday newscast.
No problem. The clock.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
With the WINNFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Yulana Weeks.
Our top stories.
Taxi and tour operators' decal distribution for 2024 gets underway on September 4, 2023.
Carnival Committee announces EC $500 incentive for first official Calypso release for Sugar Mass 52.
Nevis Island Administration approves launch of a daycare assistance subsidy program for families in need.
Sentencing moved to November 23rd for Kadeem Maynard from the BVI. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair in Guyana. Internationally, Imran Khan's jail term extended. Meanwhile, Hurricane Idalia nears landfall in Florida with likely winds of 125 miles per hour and potentially life-threatening conditions. Now the details.
The St. Kitts Tourism Authority announced the 2024 taxi and tour bus decal distribution schedule in preparation for the reopening of the tourism season in November. Taxi and tour bus operators are expected to visit the office of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority for an inspection process for their decal renewal. It will be executed in alphabetical order based on the surname of the operators. The cost for the renewal is EC $40. September 4 to September 30 will be the decal renewal for tour operators with surnames beginning with letters A to E. October 1 to October 31, surnames beginning with letters F to O. And November 1 to November 15, surnames beginning with letters P to Z. Decal renewals after December 31, 2023 will attract a cost of EC $50. Taxi and tour operators who did not participate in the St. Kitts Service Excellence Training Program will not be eligible to receive the 2024 decal. However, the president of the St. Kitts Taxi Association, Mr. Sylvester Socrates Hodge, told WINNFM that a St. Kitts Service Excellence Training Program has been scheduled for the month of October, which will give operators who were unable to attend the training in the summer months an opportunity to benefit. The St. Kitts Service Excellence Training Program aims to equip tourism service providers with the necessary knowledge and skills to increase competition and deliver memorable experiences for visitors to St. Kitts, explained Melnesia Marshall, CEO of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority.
This is one of the ways that we can ensure that as a destination we are competitive, and we have to have a distinct, enriching Kittitian experience. And at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, we started out by launching a new campaign. Venture Deeper encourages individuals to come to our destination, not just for the sun, sea, and the sand, but also for the experience, to immerse themselves in the destination.
The tourist season in St. Kitts and Nevis runs from November 1 to April 30. Within that period, a large number of cruise lines and tourists are expected to visit St. Kitts, bringing much economic activity to Port Zante and the country.
The St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee has announced a cash prize of $500 to be given to the senior calypsonian who releases the first calypso song for Sugar Mass 52. According to a release from the Carnival Committee, to qualify, the song must be released during an official full-length interview on a radio station either in St. Kitts or Nevis. The calypsonian must participate in at least one stage of the 2023 St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Senior Calypso Monarch competition, including elimination, semifinals, or finals. Any internet online releases on online social media streaming platforms will not be recognized as an official release. The chairperson of the Senior Calypso Subcommittee must be notified via telephone or email at least 24 hours before the scheduled date and time of the release. After the official release, a copy of the Calypso must be emailed in MP3 format to calypso@skncarnival.com within 48 hours. The email submission should include the name of the calypsonian, the calypso, the producer, the release date, and the radio station that facilitated the release. The musical accompaniment for the calypso must include a fusion of at least 5 of the following instruments: drums, percussions, piano, bass guitar, rhythm guitar, brass, synthesizers, strings, lead vocals, and backing vocals. The instruments must be professionally recorded, mixed, and mastered. Submissions for this cash incentive begin on September 1. The National Carnival Senior Calypso Monarch Finals will be staged on December 29th, 2023.
The Nevis Island Administration will take on the responsibility of assisting families with the payment of daycare fees, said Premier of Nevis Honorable Mark Brantley during his August 29 press conference. The launch of the Daycare Assistance Subsidy Program will be held at the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park Visitor Center on Thursday, September 7, 2023, under the realm of the Department of Gender Affairs.
That is a program that has been developed coming out of consultations held with the public to seek to assist parents who require that financial assistance in terms of daycare for their children. It will cater for children who are under the age of 3, and we will cater for up to $300 per child per month in terms of a voucher system. We are limiting it to 2 children per family at this point, per household at this point. But the idea really was born out of a need that was explained to us and that we saw in providing some support for parents most of them single mothers, who are struggling to pay for daycare. It is extremely difficult for us to demand of a single parent that he or she goes to work to provide for his or her children, but also ensures that those children have proper daycare.
Initially, the Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, during the 2022 Nevis Island Assembly election campaign, shared a plan to build a government-operated daycare facility. However, following vigorous consultations, the final consensus was that the NIA would partner with the existing daycare facilities and provide a voucher assistance mechanism for families as needed. Premier Brantley said a meeting held with daycare representatives was positive, and as a result, the NIA will move forward with the program. He clearly expressed that the government will not be assisting every child in the daycare system, but seeks to ensure that relief is provided to people who are mostly in need.
As a government, the Nevis Island Administration is of the view that government's role is to help those who need help. Not all of us are in the same position, financially or otherwise. Not all of us require financial assistance. Some of us do. And it is our view that the role of government is to help those who actually need the help. Put differently, it is not for government to put salt in the ocean, which is already salt. I know sometimes people get into this debate where I'm a taxpayer too. And that is a great idea that we're all taxpayers. But government is there to help those who need help. Government is there to provide safety nets to those who need it. Government is there to provide a hand up to those who need it. And so these programs are means-tested programs. What I mean by that is that we will have to ensure that this relief is getting to the people that need it the most. So I don't want the public out there to think that, oh, the government is now paying for every child to go to childcare, daycare. That is not the case, and that is not the intention.
In regional news, sentencing moved to November 23rd for Kadeem Maynard from the BVI, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair in Guyana, and more from Carib Update.
Inter-Caribbean Airways has announced that it is deploying its first ATR-72 turboprop aircraft to routes in the southeastern Caribbean. An official announcement said it is one of 10 ATR aircraft that will be incorporated over the next year, fulfilling Inter-Caribbean Airways' promise to commission newer, modern airplanes to improve passenger experiences. The 68-seat ATR-72 has been christened Captain Harold H. in honor of long-serving Captain Harold Williams. As Caribbean leaders revive discussions on regional airlines, Antiguan Senator David Messiah, Secretary General of Antigua and Barbuda's Workers' Union, continues to emphasize the responsibility of governments to address severance pay for former LIAT workers. Amid criticisms of Inter-Caribbean Airways and calls for a new LIAT, concerns over prolonged flight delays and severed international connections persist. The ongoing challenge of securing severance for dismissed LIAT 1974 workers remains a contentious point between the ABWU and Antiguan government. ABWU supports a revitalized Caribbean air transport, but asserts that unresolved worker issues must also be tackled, emphasizing transparency from the court-appointed administrator. The senator has long called for the court-appointed administrator for LIAT to appear before the public to give an account of what has been happening with the airline since his appointment. The director of Haiti's National Police has vowed to hold accountable those who encouraged hundreds of parishioners to take up machetes and sticks over the weekend to try and rid a community of gang members, only to be fatally shot by them. Police Chief Franz Elbe said the group's religious leader, identified as Makarel Zidor, participated in the protest Saturday and was accompanied by unidentified people clad in olive green carrying assault rifles as they and the parishioners marched towards the community of Canaan. Elbe said the group drew gunfire from gang members and that multiple people were killed and several kidnapped, though he did not provide numbers. He said police were trying to recover the bodies of those killed in Cannon, a community established north of the capital by survivors of the country's devastating 2010 earthquake. The community is controlled by a powerful gang whose leader goes by only Jeff and who is an ally of another gang known as 5 Seconds. Sentencing for Kadim Stephen Maynard, one of the 2 persons that confessed to being involved in a drug and money laundering scheme that allegedly involved former British Virgin Islands Premier Andrew Foy, has been moved to November. A notice filed in a Florida court said Maynard is now expected to appear before Judge Kathleen Williams on November 20, 2023 to know his fate. A previous notice put Maynard's sentencing hearing for September 8th after it had been cancelled last week, but this was later changed. Maynard pleaded guilty back in June, along with his mother, Olivine Pickering Maynard, the former managing director of the BVI Ports Authority, to a single count of conspiracy to import cocaine. The duo promised full cooperation with prosecutors in exchange for leniency from the court at sentencing. The chairman of the Grenada Electricity Services, Grenlec, has quit, according to multiple sources in St. George's. The news of the departure of Benedict Brathwaite came a day after a nationwide power outage that the company is yet to explain. But reports suggest his resignation has nothing to do with Monday's power failure. Brathwaite, the son of late former Prime Minister Nicholas Brathwaite, is reportedly concerned about a number of governance issues at the company. There has been no official announcement about the high-profile resignation. The Grenada government says it has approved more than 2,000 foreign investors to become nationals of the island under the Citizenship by Investment program for the first 6 months of this year. Its CBI program allows for foreign investors to be granted citizenship in return for making a substantial investment in the socio-economic development of the island. The fiscal report of the period January to June showed that the government's revenue from CBI for the same period was 157 million EC dollars, the most amount of revenue earned from the program since it was launched in 2014. The government has not approved any new CBI projects for 2023. The Dickon Mitchell-led administration, in its 2023-2024 national budget, estimates it will receive 240.4 million EC dollars from the program. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair is in Guyana on a 2-day visit. Blair, who served as Prime Minister of the UK from 1997 to 2007, is the first former or sitting British head of government to visit the CARICOM country. He was invited to Guyana by Ali during his trip to attend the coronation of King Charles III in May of 2023. They will discuss global climate challenges, Guyana's leading role in environmental protection, and the importance of education and scientific research. Blair arrived in Guyana from Grenada, where he reportedly spent the best part of last week. The government in the Bahamas has launched a public consultation on a compilation of legislation to decriminalize cannabis for medical, research, and religious use, with hopes of bringing it to Parliament. It said that the central component of the 11 bills is the Cannabis Bill 2023, which would establish a framework for local cannabis production to address medical needs. The legislation would remove cannabis from the Dangerous Drugs Act and establish a new framework for rigorously regulating and safeguarding it as a controlled substance.
We now bring you these international reports.
A court in Pakistan has ordered that the former Prime Minister Imran Khan should be held in jail for at least another 2 weeks. Mr. Khan's been in Atok jail since he was sentenced to 3 years in prison at the start of August. That sentence has been suspended, but he's also facing charges in what's known as the Cypher case, which was brought under Pakistan's Official Secrets Act. And it's to do with that case that he is now being detained. Well, for more on all of this, let's speak to our correspondent Sahar Baloch. Sahar, it can be a bit confusing. There's a number of different cases that Imran Khan is facing charges under. Just bring us up to date on what the latest is with this particular case, the Cypher case.
Well, what's happening is that in Pakistan, it seems like former Prime Minister Imran Khan's legal woes are not over as yet, because Imran Khan is found in yet another controversy, which is the Official Secrets Act, and he is basically being asked to clarify about the missing cipher. So just to give you a bit of a reminder, last year Imran Khan had claimed that he had received a cipher, a diplomatic cable, in which the US had said that they are not happy with the way Imran Khan is running things in Pakistan, and Imran Khan had accused the United States of conspiring against him. And since then, there was a lot of controversy around it, and a lot of conversation also held. And Imran Khan was in this position where he kept on accusing the United States at that point of time, but he was not able to produce the cipher because he said that he has misplaced it. So now he's been called in the same case, and he's going to be investigated as well. So yesterday, when Imran Khan's sentencing was suspended by the Islamabad High Court, his party loyalists and people around him, whoever is left around him right now, they had a momentary moment where they enjoyed the fact that there is a sense of victory among them. But the thing is that he still has to face many more challenges as well, because over here in Islamabad, the chatter is that there are going to be more cases against him, and he would have to explain himself in many of those. And there is no point, like in the recent, at least, times where it seems that he would be get out of the prison.
And you mentioned other cases. I was reading on the BBC News website. It says that Mr. Khan now faces some 100 charges against him. We know about the corruption ones in the last couple of weeks, but tell us more. I mean, that's a huge number of cases against him. Of course, he denies the allegations.
The number of cases also depend on who you are asking. For instance, if you're asking a PTI person, so they will say that there are more than 180 cases against Mr. Imran Khan. But if you ask the government side, they only count around 36 or 37 cases against him. So there is a bit of a mismatch against the numbers also. And also, this entire thing is in place just to confuse people as well. So majority of these cases, as you rightly pointed out, that they are corruption cases. Apart from that, there is the cipher case now, and apart from that, there is another Tosha Khana case against him as well. So that one has been suspended, but there are going to be more in the future as well. These were the ones in which he was convicted properly. Even though the sentencing has been suspended, but his political future still is in a limbo.
President of Gabon, Ali Bongo, is reported to be under house arrest along with members of his family after army officers claimed they've seized power. They said they were annulling the results of Saturday's election in which President Ali Bongo was declared the winner. The moment the military made the announcement on national television.
Au nom du peuple gabonais.
In the name of the people of Gabon and as guarantors of the institutions, we have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime. To this end, the general elections of the 26th of August 2023 and the truncated results are cancelled. The borders are closed until further notice. All the institutions of the Republic are dissolved.
Well, now let's cross to Michael Amoa, who's a visiting senior fellow specialising in politics and international relations at the London School of Economics. Thanks very much for joining us. Let's start with the basics here. Gabon is a country that we don't talk about every day here on the BBC. What exactly is going on at the moment?
What exactly is going on at the moment is actually that there's been a recent election, and it would appear that the military are not quite happy about the results that have been announced. They are quite definitive that it was rigged. Now, Gabon has a history of, the Omar Bongo family, the Odimba family, ruling for several decades. Omar Bongo Odimba ruled for 42 years, and afterwards his son was imposed on the country, and he's now attempting his third consecutive presidential term. And they're not quite happy about it. And what usually tends to happen in Gabon is that after the elections, internet is shut down so that opposition parties are not able to collate independently the results, and the government announces what they wish and get on with it. And I think this time the country has had enough. The military decided that they would have to intervene, and that's what's happening at the moment.
And tell us more about Ali Bongo and his family.
Well, Ali Bongo began to rule sometime in the 1960s, and he ruled for 42 years. And there are a couple of French military bases in Gabon, and the agreement was that anytime there was an attempted coup, that the military base will intervene on his behalf So he managed to hang on for 42 good years. And afterwards, when he died, his son was, by the influence of France, his son was imposed on the country. And because of the military might on base, it has been impossible to really get rid of him. And I think that he's done the 2 terms. The son, Odimba, has done the 2, Ali Bongo has done the 2 terms. And it would appear that he has attempted the 3rd term. And even the 3rd term, the citizens are quite definitive that the election has been rigged. And they thought that there has to be a way of intervening to stop the Omar Bongo monarchy, as it were.
Ukraine's eastern city of Kharkiv has built dozens of classrooms in metro stations to allow pupils to return to school. Though parts of the city lie less than 20 miles from the Russian border, officials say taking lessons underground will shield pupils from the threat of supersonic Russian missiles fired at short range. Kharkiv schools have been forced to teach online throughout the war, as some Russian missiles can reach the city in under a minute. Before Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, Kharkiv was Ukraine's 2nd biggest city, with a population of more than 1.4 million, but it has been badly scarred by fighting. The 60 schoolrooms created in the city's metro stations have space for more than 1,000 children to study in person when the new school year begins in September. Victoria Kuznetsova has overseen their implementation.
We will have desks, an interactive board, Wi-Fi, tutors and psychologists will be here. Also, a fire alarm was installed for the children's safety, and the classrooms are soundproof and have ventilation.
Irina Loboda says her school-aged boy needs to be around kids his own age.
I support the children studying in the subway. They lack socialising. They will be able to socialise with each other, find a common language, communicate. The classes are twice a week, 3 hours a time. It's not every day. I absolutely support this.
More than 1,300 schools have been totally destroyed in government-held areas of Ukraine since Russia's invasion, and others have been badly damaged, the UN Children's Fund UNICEF said on Tuesday. Persistent attacks mean that only about a third of school-aged children there are attending classes fully in person, and many are forgetting what they have learned, it said. Around half of Ukraine's teachers have reported a deterioration in students' abilities in language, reading and mathematics. Beyond Ukraine, more than half of the children whose families have fled the conflict to 7 countries are not enrolled in national education, UNICEF said, citing language barriers and overstretched education systems. The war followed COVID disruptions, meaning some Ukrainian children were facing a 4th consecutive school year of disruptions as they returned to classes this week after the summer break.
Hurricane Idalia, as we've mentioned, has strengthened to an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane as it moved towards the United States southeast coast. Well, Idalia is nearing landfall in Florida's Big Bend region, bringing a storm surge that could reach up to 15 feet, around 4.5 meters, and destructive, life-threatening winds. Well, thousands of people have fled their homes already as evacuation orders are in force in more than 20 counties in the state. In a briefing, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said 54,000 houses in the state are without power. He added the surge will reach up to 16 feet in some areas of that Big Bend region, making it life-threatening.
This thing is hitting really within the next hour and a half, most likely. It's going to make landfall. It is a major hurricane, as we've been saying it was likely to be for the last couple days, and we just hope everybody stays safe. Don't put your life at risk by doing anything dumb at this point. This thing's powerful. If you're inside, just hunker down until it gets past you. You don't want to be messing around with these winds. There's going to be things flying all over the place. Obviously, if you're in a place that's close to the coast and you see that surge, that's going to be legitimate surge. It's going to be a big deal, and it's going to be very dangerous. And there we go with our power here. We're back.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis there. Well, BBC meteorologist Thomas Schaffenacker has the very latest now on what path the storm is going to take.
Hurricane Idalia is a serious storm for Florida and the southeast of the United States. Landfall will have occurred around Florida's Big Bend, so that part of the coastline that curves around the Gulf of Mexico into the Panhandle. Destructive winds, that storm surge, and indeed other states will be affected by this storm. In fact, there are two storms, one out in the Atlantic, but we're watching Idalia here as it approaches the coastline. Torrential rain, destructive winds occurring on the coastline itself, but then the flooding rains and the risk of tornadoes will transfer across more northern parts of Florida into Georgia and into the Carolinas. And at this stage, this storm will still be strong, possibly even maintaining hurricane strength as it nears that coastline on the Atlantic side. So serious weather there in the US.
Hurricane Idalia is expected to affect lots of Florida's counties. I think about 28 of the 67 counties are under some form of evacuation. Now, Idalia is forecast to make landfall at the state's northern panhandle on Wednesday morning local time. The winds have slightly eased to 125 miles per hour, which means Hurricane Idalia is now classed back as a Category 3 hurricane, and that's according to the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane has been a Category 4 hurricane for the past few hours, with those potentially catastrophic storm surges and destructive winds, which are still expected. So, you know, the winds have eased very slightly, but we don't know what's going to happen in the coming hours.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines?
Taxi and tour operators' decal distribution for 2024 gets underway on September 4, 2023.
Carnival Committee announces EC $500 incentive for first official Calypso release for Sugar Mass 52.
Nevis Island Administration approves launch of a daycare assistance subsidy program for families in need.
Sentencing moved to November 23rd for Kadeem Maynard from the BVI. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair in Guyana. Internationally, Imran Khan's jail term extended. Meanwhile, Hurricane Idalia nears landfall in Florida, with likely winds of 125 miles per hour and potentially life-threatening conditions. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribou.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with CNW Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, CNW Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
Generally settled atmospheric conditions will prevail across the area over the next 24 hours, during which shallow patches of low-level clouds will continue to move across the islands. Today, partly sunny with a 30% or low chance of showers. Tonight, partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of brief showers. Sunset today will be at 6:26 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 5:57 a.m. That's your weather forecast for today, which came to you the kind compliments of CW Business.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with CNW Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, CNW Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Are you ready to let it flow to light up your life? Get ready for the most electrifying event of the year. It's the Let It Flow to Light Up Your Life sales event at Horsford's Building and Event Centers. For limited time only, Horsford's Building and Event Centers are offering an unbelievable discount of 25% off on all electrical and plumbing items. Yes, you heard that right, 25% off. It's time to make those electrical and plumbing upgrade and renovation dreams a reality. Whether you're a do-it-yourself enthusiast or a professional contractor, we've got everything you need to transform your space. From dazzling chandeliers to high-quality wiring, from stylish faucets to top-notch plumbing fixtures, we've got it all. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to save big on top brands and the latest innovations in electrical and plumbing. Spruce up your living space, revamp your kitchen, and turn your bathroom from ordinary to luxury and more. Hurry, hurry, hurry! This event won't last forever, so head over to Horsford's Building and Event Centers today and let it flow and light up your life with our phenomenal 25% off sales event on all electrical and plumbing items. Try Horsford's first, your one-stop destination for all your electrical and plumbing needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to our viewers, listeners. Welcome back to the second half of today's presentation of Voices. It's the 30th day of August, and we were discussing, hopefully, we were supposed to discuss matters relating to emancipation, but we segued into all kind of things. Ras Kulunji is the guest in the studio today. I think he has a clip queued up to be played. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to get into a bit of a debate later on about unity, the challenges closer at home as compared to what we're trying to achieve on the broader continent. Okay, so if you have the clip queued up, sir, please play it.
Malcolm X, in his own words, speaking in 1964.
One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective, to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary. That's our motto. The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans. The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights. We hereby present this charter. Number one, the establishment. The Organization of Afro-American Unity shall include all people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help.
Okay, that was the clip played that you suggested. It's on the whole issue of unity. Okay? During the break, we read a couple of articles that speak to the whole issue of unity, and I was saying it's more of a challenge because of the size of the continent to get the message in across. There are so many different governments, the different interest groups, etc., etc., etc. And you mentioned being across to Nevis recently and interacting with friends and family, how the reception was. And we touched briefly on this unity, this sense of enmity between St. Kitts and Nevis. I was asking you, how can you not get the people here closer on the same page, but you're trying to? And I think based on my information, I told you that this rancor between St. Kitts and Nevis dates back to 1883, when the Crown annexed St. Kitts and Nevis, when the Jews then controlled the cotton industry and most of the economy of Nevis, and they were not happy because the people were peasantry and they were given the land to work. They too took on the issue of being against that decision to enjoin Nevis to St. Kitts, making St. Kitts the capital. You read a document that's pointed out to me that enmity, that issue went back further than 1883 to 1860 something as it was.
Yeah.
You find that you have the article?
1860. Yeah, I have it.
Please read it for me.
a gentleman of Nevis. Now, let me
go back a bit, yes.
Yeah, let me go for you. Okay, the solution proposed by Britain was to make all the sugar islands into a crown colonies. Alternatively, the franchise could have been expanded and government made more representative. But the local establishment in the islands were not ready or willing to do this. In 1866, the St. Kitts Assembly voted for a single chamber, eliminating the council and with a majority of members appointed rather than elected. That same year, it was noted that of a population of 25,000, only 300 were qualified to vote under the requirements then in effect. Other islands in the Leewards followed suit. The British governor wrote to the colonial office in London that the government of Antigua was the best, but bankrupt. In St. Kitts, the government was rich, but the assembly and the president were deadlocked and little could be accomplished. In Nevis, the government was bad and Montserrat was, if possible, even worse. Governor Hamilton of the Leewards wrote the Duke of Newcastle a letter on 23rd October 1862 in which he succinctly set forth an accurate analysis of the Leeward Island political situation, true then and still true to today. Antigua, St. Kitts, Montserrat, Nevis are all within view of each other. I frequently see them all at one view. They are minute monarchies with separate legislatures, different tariffs, distinct provincialisms, and with antipathy strong in the ratio of approximation. A gentleman of Nevis says it is a duty he has inherited to abhor everything belonging to St. Kitts, which he adds is the fate of all true Nevisians. The isolation and the consequent differences might be summoned by the consolidation of the civil establishment of the island.
So this has nothing to do with Bradshaw?
Nothing at all.
That enmity, that rancor, that bitterness that prevails because I don't know if it was you said it earlier, but we normally refer to going to Nevis as across the divide.
Well,
that division.
Yeah, but what, across the narrows, we just say.
I get the divide. I get narrows, I get the divide, across the divide.
But what I'm trying to show you is not of our making. It's the consequence of colonialism. And what was happening is that we continue.
And the point we're trying to make is that the people themselves don't know why.
Exactly. So
but Bradshaw was given, and let me give him his honor, the Honorable former Premier Bradshaw was given that, what it was, that blame.
Yeah, exactly.
As Bradshaw and his policy, it had nothing. My information was it dated back to 100 years before emancipation.
Exactly.
Right? And the workers then, because we were emancipated, 1883, you know what I mean? 84 was emancipation.
84, yeah.
So around that time, the mindset of the people was identifying with Massa. So Massa was upset. And because Nevis was a peasantry, where the workers control the land, work the land, and that's why most Nevisians have land as opposed to Kittitians.
Exactly.
They took the side of Massa and hated their counterparts on St. Kitts. That's where it started. But based on my information, you read now that this rancor went back to what year?
1862.
1862.
But what I'm saying to you, we were indoctrinated that way. So what I'm saying, in order to rectify the situation, we have to come up with a national consciousness. But the political directorate continues the contradiction.
There was
when
another,
it's not of our making.
There was another article you read which spoke about the political structure that was being put in place.
Which
informs us to what's happening today. Nothing has changed.
Adult suffrage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, when we went to the news, I was about to read that. By this apprenticeship, the colonial office was making sure that the education of local politicians, you hear what he said? the education
of local politicians
was completed along British lines.
British lines.
And that they will look to Westminster as their model. This would ensure that Britain's influence in the colonies would continue long after the inevitable losing of imperial ties.
Still happening today.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to show you is that a lot of things that we do and we operate and we say
subconsciously
comes from colonialism, and we don't know. So what we are proposing as African consciousness movement is that we need a re-education of our people to come up with a national consciousness.
Instigated by who?
By our people.
The people who were trained to follow the Westminster model?
I'm saying our people, we are here, me and you are here, we are putting information out there. Disseminating. So our people can understand what we are dealing with. It's all about educating our people. That's what we are here for.
We need many stumps for that. Remember the stump in Woodford Square? In Hyde Park? Where you go and you give your stump speech?
Yeah.
This platform alone can handle this.
What we are saying is that we have, we have the internet now. I mean, the way how things going since COVID, that our people are more secluded than ever. So what we are saying is what we link up with WhatsApp and YouTube and these kind of things. We could disseminate information that will educate our people.
Speaking about information that's to educate the people, who invented the internet?
I don't know. You could inform me.
A black person.
Okay then.
Who invented the cell phone? And GPS? You didn't know that was?
No, I didn't know that. I don't know everything.
A black woman working in NASA, she invented GPS.
Okay then. But what I'm saying
the telephone, the cell phone was invented by a black person. The internet. I'm going to get the accurate information.
Yeah, thanks for the information. But what I'm saying now, look at this now. Marcus Garvey had no internet.
No.
And look what he did. So what we are saying is that we have these things at our disposal. No, look. When I got up this morning, I put on my phone. First thing come up, Queen Gabon.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is that we ain't had that before.
We'd have that connection.
You see, so we are connected. So what we are saying, we have to use the technology that we have at our disposal, to accomplish what we want. But I want to put a question out there to our people. Are you in favor of Africans in the Federation coming together as one, unite? That is what we put in forward. When somebody call in, we want them. Are you in favor of
The lines are open.
unity?
The lines are open. 662-0989, 762-0989, 466-0989. Be part of the discussion. Ras Kalonji would like to respond to, have you respond to the question you put out there?
Yes.
So again, in the meantime.
When they call in, we want them to, are you in favor of that?
Like we want a poll?
Yeah, we could run a poll, you know what I mean? But we
Preacher
want
Williams over there in Antigua. Glad you got home safely. I believe you logged on. So we had a wonderful discussion here on Monday. As a result, she has been asked to sit on various panels to discuss Caribbean economics and this and that. People listen. We're not just here in the Federation, but people have to listen. And she's happy to report that she just may take it on, depending.
But here it is. UJAMO, cooperative economics. That's what we want to practice.
We have an issue here with the cooperatives, the farmers' cooperative, but still, the attempt is there.
But we want to establish the United Lyomegan Cooperative in this sense too, because the United Lyomegan Cooperative, right, is to deal with food.
Okay, we asked for caller. The lines are open. Caller, you're live on Voices. Go to caller, you're live on Voices.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sister, and welcome back to the program.
Socrates, I forgot to send back the greetings. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday, Aisha Henry.
Yes.
And today is Jason Payne's birthday. King Pharaoh.
Congratulations to all those celebrating. Congratulations to your daughter and to Mr. Payne.
Old-time Calypsonian.
Yep. Happy birthday.
We have a way, while we want to unite, we ignoring our people.
Is that so?
Yeah, the 25th was Kim Collins Day, and we ignore it.
Yes. I sent some salutations when it came on Monday, I think it was, or made mention of it.
I'm telling you. So, I am in favor, but I got to know exactly what I'm getting into.
You in favor of African unity?
Because there are some emissaries of the Communist Party. They call nobody name,
The emissaries that the Communist Party. Let me ask you a question.
But you asked the question, is she in favor, yes or no? Let us
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
first.
I said I'm in favor
Yes,
of
she said she's in favor.
the Sankers and Nevis.
Not only Sinkers and Nevis, but throughout the diaspora. But anyway, we're dealing with Sinkers and Nevis first.
Starting with Sankers and Nevis first.
Yeah, that's where we got to start. So, we want to know, you're talking about communists. I want to ask you a question. Have communism done us anything?
Huh?
Have communists done African people anything?
Just like what they said them do.
No, I'm asking. I
you
don't.
ask the question. I'm telling you, just like what they look at it. What we have now in Africa. Just like I put on the news and I hear back and I say, Lord have mercy. You know?
But communist
what we have
communist
going
was
on in Africa is proxy war.
communist was responsible for that?
Look, that is all. They have it down in Ukraine. They gone Africa with the same story.
Miss Henry.
And even China. China got Africa so indebted.
Miss Henry, you have been misled.
Hello. At least I wasn't misled by you.
But okay, no problem. But what I'm saying to you is,
China has Africa so indebted they will never get out. I mean, look what they do to Jamaica too. And it's our people, the same one we calling to lead us. So we taking off, we throw up America chain and we put on Russia chain, we put on China chain. We put on, I mean, we just become what? The football?
Yep. Musical chairs.
That's all.
When you finish,
because
let me know.
one, you take down one and then next thing you know, you hear you go on another one. People shedding their blood for nothing in Africa, you know. The leaders, everybody got their side. And the population suffer. Now, let me talk about something. Just give me a little chance. I listened to the midday news, and I heard this thing from Grenada, where the Prime Minister was revealing the number of citizenship by investment things that he signed. I think he said 2,000.
2,000, okay.
You heard the item, right?
No. When I get home.
Yeah, it was on the news. And he gave the amount that they collected. Well, from since last year, August till now, we have been asking, the media has been asking our beloved Prime Minister to give us the information.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is none. You know, you make you wonder what really is going on. What really is going on? And you see the thing with Nevis and St. Kitts, is more than what you say, you know. If it started with the people, it was continued by Mr. Bradshaw. There's no getting around it. You know, as he does say, there were influence. So there's no people trying to claim Mr. Bradshaw's name. He is responsible even in 1967. If you read the document they signed with the Associated Statehood, each country, Antigua, Anguilla, and Nevis, were to have this council. And he went and chose the people he wanted to be on the island council. So he's not innocent. I hear people say, but he didn't say. Well, I wasn't there. But somebody who was there told me they heard him say it inside us. But be that as it may. Things could have been done differently. You know, the model about the center and the periphery. Things should know. You know that Jeffers, by the way, I'm a Jeffers too. My mother's a Jeffers married to a Freeman. So maybe you're my cousin, so watch it. Yeah. That's because how come me and Lulu and all of them, they are cousins, Jeffers.
Well, Lulu is my cousin
mother's
too.
Jeffers, so next time I have respect to Jeffers. But let me continue.
How we get Jeffords?
How you get Jeffers?
How we get Jeffords?
How I get Jeffers?
How we, as a people, how we got these names?
I'm married now.
Yeah, we know you're married. All I'm saying, we got these names because we had our original names.
Why? I got Jeffers because just the same way you get your one, I get mine.
Yeah,
My mother was a Jeffers. I believe born in Nevis because she married to a Freeman.
All them come from Nevis.
Right, so you're my family, so please. Now let me continue. No, let me forget what I was going to say. You know what I'm saying is this, or the center periphery model, which is what Mr. Bradshaw did. he concentrated on developing this center, which was the
St.
source
Kitts?
of his power,
St. Kitts?
No.
which is St. Kitts.
Okay, all right.
So we saying that the Nevians lie? Up to Saturday, they were talking about 60s. I used to go to Nevis for holidays and stay with that. No water, no road, no nothing. He was in charge, and we must stop make excuse. If you have a little, then you distribute the same thing with Anguilla. So he developed the center at the expense of the periphery, which are being Nevis and Anguilla. So there's no excusing for that.
No, I
It was
wasn't
done
excusing.
deliberately to maintain power in St. Kitts. So anyway, I would support. I don't know the last unity. I was looking forward to it, and unity mashup. So
Yep.
Well, but could I?
Lord Jesus, people in St. Kitts were looking forward to unity, you know.
But could I
They were
address?
tired of the labor and the
The
PAM.
divide, yeah. Division.
But let me
You
say.
know, serious, they were tired of it.
But Miss Henry, I want to respond to something you're saying. You're talking about Bradshaw.
To which one?
The point I'm making is that these politicians was indoctrinated that way. The situation even in Anguilla, where
Indoctrinated?
Anguilla
Let me
wasn't.
ask a question.
Is
Is anybody on this planet, any black person who was not indoctrinated?
Okay.
Are you indoctrinated?
But what I'm saying to you, listen what I'm saying. Let's take the Anguilla situation. The British did not develop Anguilla in no way. So we inherited that.
Stop making excuse.
You see,
Anguilla and Nevis, they were joined together. Nevis against its own will. At one point, Nevis was richer than St. Kitts, you know.
I know.
Some people don't know that. They say
Yeah, it was rich in the Caribbean.
Nevis was better off than St. Kitts.
It was original, and
Better
that was the point of rancor when the crown annexed Nevis to St. Kitts
You-
and
right,
made
you join
St. Kitts the
to
capital.
oppose St. Kitts. When you join Nevis to oppose St. Kitts, and then the power is transferred from Nevis to St. Kitts, how would you handle that?
That is where the issue started, Kalonji.
And that's what he's saying, you know.
But the point
Nevis lost power over their own country.
But the point I'm
And given
making,
to-
but Miss Henry, the point I'm making, it was not of our making. It was done by the
Stop doing that
colonialists.
foolishness. Black people got sense.
It
Man,
wasn't
when
black
are
people
we
in
responsible for our
when that
actions?
happened.
Answer-
Black people was not in control.
When are we responsible for our actions?
Sister Henry, when that took place, black people, no black person was in any form of power. Was the legislature
person what?
wasn't in power? No black person was in power. It was the governments of the day.
That's true.
They were all white legislatures.
Look.
So they did
And
that.
that is what they,
But
that is
because
what the
we
struggle was about. The
identified
struggle
with
was-
Massa,
watch. The struggle was about getting black people, you know, you heard about Mr. Bradshaw organized a march against the same governor.
Blackburn.
He said, yes, he don't want no more white governor, administrator, they want a black one.
Mm-hmm.
They voted for it. But when there is the
We gotta call Miss Henry. We gotta call Miss Henry. We gotta take it.
the neglect of Nevis and Anguilla cannot be excused.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take this call. Caller, thanks for holding. Your live on Voices.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you guys doing, man?
Splendid. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm happy you have big up to the Rasta man that's in there with you today.
Ask Kalonji. You see him every day when you pass by the mall.
Yeah, man. I'm happy that he's on trying to spread this Pan-Africanism and, you know, this traditional African roots and culture talk, you know. But, you know what I mean? You know, the vibes that's done happen in Africa, man, in Niger, is spreading. You know, we already getting news that Gabon has now taken over. The military in Gabon has now taken over.
Mm-hmm.
So we remember the Arab Spring uprising. You know, this has now started in Africa. This is going to be the African summer uprising instead of spring uprising. But you know, the people who don't want to talk about Africa, man, and accept their roots and culture, you know, they're not getting it, man. But you know, Africa is very sad. You know what I mean? Africa got everything that we need to survive in this lifetime we live in, bro. And everybody else is in our hometown except us.
It's all about the
You know what I mean?
control
We
of
don't
your
wanna-
resources.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, the resources. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we don't want to we don't want to embrace, our history, all of that. That we don't want to embrace it. It's like we're gone astray. You know what I mean? Africa is the start of civilization, bro. And if everybody else trying to get down with Africa except us, we need to start trading with Africa, man. One time I was listening to the radio and the Rastaman them said, the slave trade triangle was 3 legs. But slavery, when they claimed so that they abolished slavery, they did not shut down all 3 legs. It's only the leg from Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas was they still maintain the other 2 legs because, we traveling to Africa from over this side of the world, we always have to travel up to Europe. When the direct flights across is so less of a time. They travel directly across from the Caribbean to the West Coast. And we don't have no leaders in the Caribbean. We don't have no leaders in the Caribbean that want to get done with these type of arrangements. They're not pro-Africa, man. So we're gonna lose out. The guy Journey and the rest man in the studio today, these guys have been pushing that real talk, man. This is real talk. These guys been pushing and they're getting fight down. Some persons don't even want to hear what these guys are saying, and that's absurd, man. We got to get back to our roots and our culture and our tradition. We got to get back. We got to bridge that gap somehow, bro. We're in the schools in St. Kitts and
Those
Nevis,
direct flights would be amazing.
They say that they're going to be teaching other languages.
Yeah.
But they're
Nothing
not,
African.
they're not looking towards teaching.
Mandarin.
Yeah, they're not looking towards
So you see?
teaching not even one African language.
Well, we suggest
You know what I mean?
Swahili.
So that at least we can communicate with our people.
That's a great
Man,
point.
but it's a lot to talk about, man, and
That's a
I
great
just want to
point.
pick up the Rastaman again today, and good luck going forward, man. You guys have a good day, man. All right.
Glad you're in tune. Thank you for your contribution. It's very important. We go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices with me, Blossom. Caller, please try again if you can get in on the debate. We would love to hear from you. Okay. Another caller? Okay. Sorry, we would have missed that caller. You got a chance to get back in on the discussion. We would just love to hear from you. Okay. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good afternoon, the King and Rascalunzi. You tell me where you go call, but how you don't call bonus in Africa? Where you don't put in about Africa? We don't hear. Call me my name in African language because only a couple of people here should have went in the Rasta thing in the 70s and noticed that the children got one out to Rasta name.
So what's your name?
I name Bernice, and that's what they gave me from birth.
I thought you had a Rasta name.
Huh?
Kalonji is smiling in as you. Kalonji asks us a woman.
I don't know Africa. Don't tell them already Africa coming here and where he name from them challenges, If Africa coming here now and they don't even sometimes they say for tell them we ancestors, they say we are runaway slave. I don't know that thing. We don't go down and you're strong to say something about African thing. We don't got the slave master name. How we going to change it? It's like an English name, the girls say from the African name, the girls the English name, and that's all we know. We don't know Talumbala, Limbala. How the hell I going to, I don't even know yourself. You're coming to kill me. Are you coming to save me if you see me this thing?
Last Kalonji answer Bernice.
Yes, I don't think. I know you're trying to know. Over the young people don't want to hear that. They're not telling them about money and the weed and all that sort of. Tell them money, money, money. I hear the government going to pay a couple $1,000 a weekend. Oh, yes, yes.
That's all I want to hear.
All they want. Tell them the name, the M with the thing with the money. You hear? The M, sorry. Tell them the thing with the M and money they want. You know, I hear about no thing. We don't come out of there. Some people lucky to go back there. I know one or two people young from here gone there, you see. Some of them still live there and so, but when we are here, Mr. Manager say about 42. We don't get the Africa, we don't get, from the time they bring us from out to Africa, our ancestors, not us, because me come out of you. Right, from the time, they don't find a name of you coming across the Atlantic.
Okay,
so
Bernice.
when they reach now, huh?
Okay, got you.
Yes, you know, when they reach and plus, them and I can't to somebody earlier, Miss Henry say, because we slave master name, you hear they used to carry them in the square, and say Mr. Socrates gonna say he want Bonus, he want Daisy, he want Jane, and Mr. Colungi gonna say, well, I want 5 of them, because I got my plantation.
So only female name you can call for Socrates. What's wrong with you?
Huh?
You give me Jane and Bernice, only female name you can call for. Anyway, we gotta go to a station break. We gotta go to a station break.
We know.
Mm-hmm.
What you think England opened the trade thing the time? The win thing, the win will fall.
The wind rush, that's a different story. I don't think you understand it. But
And people used to just jump on a boat from here. You only got to hear the Bookers boat coming tomorrow. What? People run away from the mother, a lot of people and the father and the family went to England. They said they tell them they're going town and they, the Bookers boat, that time nobody had no signal, like no radio, I said nothing. Whoever got radio was the rich person. And they came to town and they book up the name and they went in and look, see them come back tonight. You wonder what happened to them. Well, bus stop run all at 3, 4 o'clock.
okay, Bernice, okay. Thank you for that. We do have to go for a session break, so if you got a chance, call back in. Let's have a bit more discussion. So, Mr. Sergeant, take us downtown, please.
Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase. Will be given back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback coupon to all our hire purchase customers this coupon season. Starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Horseman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPlay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Hey, this is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hustle's Building Center for the month of August. Vanity combo was $1,276. It's now only $10,2065. 9-inch kitchen sink with soap dispenser was $1488.95. Get it now for $1265.60. 4 pounds of Ramic green nuggets was $69.75. Only $59.28. 6-inch steel toe work boot was $246.16. Is now $209.23. Super handy Andy deals at Hustle's Building Center for the month of August, making home improvement easy.
At 40 minutes down past the hour, there's the next clip that we have queued up for airing. So, Mr. Engineer, can you play it for us?
Official talking about diplomatic efforts in Ukraine, the last thing you want to do is drop your guard.
So that would be great, I think, to help glue this thing and have the UN help glue it. And, the EU.
But that is exactly what reportedly happened between US Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland and US Ambassador to Ukraine Jeffrey Pyatt. The exchange has since surfaced online, including the crude swipe at the European Union. The audio clip of a woman and man, said to be Nuland and Pyatt, hears them discussing strategies to work with the 3 main opposition figures.
I don't think Cleach should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good idea.
In terms of him not going into the government, just let him sort of stay out and do his political homework and stuff. I'm just thinking in terms of sort of the process moving ahead, we want to keep the moderate Democrats together. The problem is going to be Tony Book and his guys. And, I'm sure that's part of what Yanukovych is calculating on all of this.
I think Yats is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience. He's the guy, what he needs is Cleach and Tony Book on the outside. He needs to be talking to them 4 times a week. I just think Cleach going in, he's going to be at that level working for Yatsenyuk. It's just not going to work.
There is a suggestion for Nuland to contact Klitschko directly to play to his top dog sensibilities, while Nuland refers to getting the United Nations involved in a political solution. And that's where the unfortunate comment arises.
I'm obviously not going to comment on private diplomatic conversations, other than to say it was pretty impressive tradecraft. The audio was extremely clear. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. We're here from America. Would you like some bread? Please take something.
Thank you for coming here.
This was Nuland and Payat visiting Independence Square in Kiev in December, handing out food to protesters and police. This latest episode is embarrassing for the US and allows Russia to argue that the opposition is being manipulated by Washington, something that Barack Obama has always denied. The clip was said to have been posted online by the Russian deputy PM, but that has not yet been confirmed.
That's it.
Okay, we'd have heard that clip, Russ. We want you to walk us through what we listened to. I'm not sure was relevance, but you brought it. So, to the public, let's hear what it's all about.
Well, I played that clip to show our people. The lady voice you heard was Victoria Nuland.
And the claim to fame is?
Her strategy is to overthrow government.
But who's she representing?
The United States.
Okay, so what's her official role?
Her official role right now, she's the...
Not then, at the time of that...
She was the, I think, the United States representative to the
Ukraine?
No, the European Union.
Okay, EU.
But no, her position now is the deputy in the State Department.
Okay.
Okay? So she's under Blinken. All right? So I played that clip to show you that the conflict in Ukraine goes back to 2014 when the U.S. government overthrew the Ukrainian government of Yanukovych. And then we have recently where the former chancellor of Germany, what's her name is again? Can't remember her name. Huh? Merkel. Stated recently that the reason why you had the Bucharest summit and another summit, I can't remember the name exactly, but she said publicly that the reason why they had these summits because they was playing for time to arm Ukraine. These are public statements. You heard the clip?
They were playing for time to arm
Ukraine. So what I'm trying to show you now, everybody's blaming Putin for invading Ukraine when all these things was in the works. And not only that, I was looking at a program one night. Victoria Nuland was on the program. She said she had to leave the program. Here where her next move is. Haiti. She had to leave the program to go and deal with the situation in Haiti. So this woman, she's a neocon, and all she does is how to overthrow governments to deal with U.S. interests. So when we down here talking all these things and we don't understand what is happening, it's all about misinformation. Our people are misinformed. No, I played you the clip. You heard the lady. She overthrew the government.
But I just wanted to bring context.
I understand.
Because you're hearing it, but you don't have any direct correlation with anything. So
exactly.
you wanted to actually to present some context.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to show you is that these things have historical background. You know, things just don't drop out the sky. What I'm saying, look at the situation in Niger, right? You're hearing that France is getting uranium from Niger, which is electrifying France. And half of Niger don't have electricity. The French franc.
Francophone?
Right, the French franc, the money, the monetary situation, is directly in the French central bank. And if Niger or any other French
They have
colony,
to play for loan
exactly.
of their own money.
And then I heard Macron and another clip saying that the reason why these countries in Africa is uprising against France is because of Russia, Turkey.
Back to the phone lines. We take this caller. Caller, you're live on Voices.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon, Kalanji.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
I was listening earlier when you made the, put out there for us, so those who
Can you speak up a bit, please?
consciously wants to give commitment to the unification of Africa, and I'll laud that. But the unification of Africa.
Not only Africa, we're talking about Africans right here in the Federation. We're starting
Yes,
here.
but there's a lot of vestiges with the African, the unification. We're talking about the diaspora, in the diaspora, right?
No, we're talking about Africans here in the Federation.
Well, we are all Africans here in the Federation, whether we know
That's
it
what
or
he's
not.
saying. That's what he's saying.
That's where we're starting.
Right. But the unification of Africa here, we have to take religion and politics out of it. Because on one side, if some people are going to be really critical about certain political religious order, and then on the other side, some people are going to be critical about certain other persons political affiliation, it's not going to happen. How can we put those things aside and see us for who we are, whether we are Palm Labor or Unity, or whether we're Christian Muslims or nothing? Predominantly, we came out of the Christian space around here. So basically, that is all we know.
Question, my brother. You heard the 7 principles of Kwanzaa?
Yes, I know. I heard it.
Okay, but what we are saying, those are the principles that we are dealing with. It's secular. It doesn't have nothing to do with your political affiliation or your religious affiliation. We are saying we're putting ideas forward. You with it or you against it? It's as simple as that.
Lanji, I am aware of. I am speaking on behalf of those who are confused and want to bring religion and politics in the mix. Those are the people we have to reach, Believe it or not, they are sisters and brothers, and we have to reach them if this thing has to grow. If it has to grow, because its numbers is what counts, we have to reach those people in whatever means necessary to reach them. So therefore, we have to be like physicians. I like to use a term because I grew up in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and one thing I was taught, in which it stayed with me, you have to be like a physician. You don't apply something harsh to the patient that is going to, worsen the patient's situation. You have to apply something nice and soothe and sweet that is going to be, for the patient to really heal. It's about healing. And if we don't apply that, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Be it the religion or the politics. And that is what I'm hearing. If we ought to love and reach our people, in which I had a love for my people, I am willing to compromise certain things until they get clear. It's to get their eyes open to these things first. Everything else is going to just fly over the head. And so that's my take on the whole thing. Religion and politics, forget about that. Because even if you look at the African continent, it is divided down the middle, Christians and Muslims. What are we going to do? Convert all of them? I don't believe in conversion either. I live my life, and if persons see the model from my life, so be it.
Okay. Thank you for that contribution.
The African continent is right down the middle in Christianity and Islam. Thanks for listening.
Welcome. Ras, want to comment on?
Well, I understand what he's saying, but we are clear. We're not dealing with religion and politics. We're looking for African people's interests. We want to educate you. He's talking about how people see certain things, and you have, as a doctor, you got to come in a calm and collective way. We're saying we're doing that through education. We have to re-educate our people. You know, we're not just going to say, but this is it. We got to educate them because they don't know who they are.
You have a timeline in mind?
No, we ain't got a timeline. This thing, the struggle continues. You know, we don't put timeline on because we ain't had no timeline. Things just happen. For instance, look what is happening in Niger today. We didn't expect that to happen. So we don't have a timeline.
So we are reacting? Are we just reactionaries?
No, we are not reactionaries, but then the incident that took place now shine a whole different light on what needs to be done.
Back to the phone lines before we wrap things up today. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Yeah, quickly, the king. Now, Mrs. Henry mentioned that the wars that is going on the continent are proxy war. Well, they're not just proxy war. They're also not a clandestine operation. We know who is behind the war. We know who is supporting the wars. So, are we saying, in as much as we know America and France is behind most of these proxy wars, let us look at the model. Look at what is happening. And when you ask if it's a revolution in the Francophone countries, it's a realignment. And we are saying that these Francophone military leaders are uniting. Now, whether or not they take strength in the fact that Russia and China is in their corner, Russia and China have to go too. Because I've stated earlier that Africa needs to create its own edifice of power, its own edifice of autonomy, and its own edifice of strength. We have to build the Africa that we want. And then we invite those military outsiders, foreigners, to come in at it because we recognize that the rest of the world cannot do with what is on the continent of Africa. Let us ask ourselves these questions. America have interest in Africa. France has interest in Africa. All foreign military powers have military power troops in Africa. But what about Africa? Africa doesn't have its own interest. This is the message we're sending to our people. And when we don't hear like the nuts lady who going to say, you know, I don't even want to repeat what she said. I mean, she can only start with what she knows. But when we're going to say we don't have any resources and all of that, the resources that is there is ours. Let us take ownership of it and build, because in as much as we think that we are in the sixth region and we are small, together as a collective, and I think this is what Kalanji is saying, but you see, that is why I said the king. Our words are vibrating.
I got that, yeah.
Because if you think that what we are saying doesn't reach where it's supposed to, well, think again, because our words are vibrating. And when we think that we are talking to a God in the sky, our words are vibrating to the universe. The universe. And that is what is where our action is going to become power. Our word is going to become power. We cannot go against unity because we didn't divide ourselves. Our common enemy divided us, and it has worked for them. And this is my message.
Okay, Johnny, we got to wrap things up now. It's 28 past, so thank you very much once again for your contribution. Raskolonji, wrap up time.
Well, here they
you got 2 minutes, Johnny. So make it count.
Yeah, we're talking about African unity in the most broadest sense. Dear black and African people, we are at war with too many people to be at war with each other. That's how we're saying we need African unity amongst ourselves. What Granny say, love one another. What Granny say, respect one another. What Granny say, buy local. What Granny say, support your own. What Granny say, African unity by any means necessary. What Granny say, self-esteem. What Granny say, self-reliance. What Granny say, self-respect. One love. What Granny say, liberation by any means necessary. Give thanks. One love.
To our many viewers and listeners, and I want to send a special salute to Mr. Valentine Monish, wherever you are. Of course, a friend of the program. Thank you for all the support over the years. Dr. Leader up there, Dr. Sweeney, Peter Williams over there in Antigua, Bag of Sugar, all the folks out there who...
What the leader listening to? That's my brother.
Yes, he listens. Got to give him a
salutation. Yell up, Nigel. What going on?
We'll send out to people out there.
Yeah, blessed love, man. And Mr. Sweeney...
Dr. Sweeney
was my teacher.
He was a teacher?
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Definitely, man.
These guys are busy, but they stay in tune. And, of course, next month is special because we're celebrating our 40th independence anniversary. Those guys are, they're very patriotic.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Right? So it's been a wonderful day. One another presentation of Voices. It's 29 past the hour, and we're exiting early today. And all the calls on the line. Right, so we're gonna say yabba dabba doo. I'll see you. We're out of here until Friday, God's willing. Bye bye now.
Hey, this is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hustle's Building Center for the month of August. 15-gallon black storage container was $127.02, is now $107.97. LED spotlight was $77.10. Get it now for $66.05. Black Farmers Oil Lantern